What is going on, guys? Jason Burke here, Styles Clash for Life, coming at you on YouTube. And today I've got another edition of The Drive-In, where I watch recently released movies and tell you guys whether they're worth watching, worth waiting for, or worth skipping altogether. Today I've got a 2019 release that is currently on Hulu. I'm talking about one of the Into the Dark series. Blumhouse Pictures, which I love. I know it's a divisive topic. Blumhouse and A24, you either love them or hate them. I'm a Team Blumhouse kind of a guy. But it's a Blumhouse feature that they do a bunch of movies that are considered the Into the Dark series, where they're all individual kind of anthology movies by different writers and directors. And some are hits and some are misses. And so I decided to, one movie in particular caught my fancy. Didn't realize it was an Into the Dark series. So I decided to watch it. So today on the drive-in, I'm talking about 2019's Uncanny Annie. Let's get right into the specs of this movie. It was written by Alan Blake Batchelor and James Batchelor. I'm sure there's a relation there. Directed by Paul Davis. Starring Adelaide Kane, Georgie Flores, Paige McGee, and as the title character Annie, Carlisha Hurley. This film, essentially, the plot is pretty basic. It's not going to reinvent the wheel. Like six friends get together on Halloween night. They are mourning the tragic anniversary of their young friend's death. They decide to spice up Halloween by playing this board game they find in the basement. And of course, the board game becomes a little too real and they kind of get stuck in the game. So we've seen this before. We've seen this with things like Jumanji. You know, like we've seen different kind of fantasy versions of this. We saw a lot of this in the 90s. We've seen this before in horror as well, where the game becomes real and each player has to answer the question, do the dare, or face some pretty rough consequences. So that's pretty much all that I can say without spoiling it. I'll start non-spoiler, and I'll give you guys the spoiler section at the end. But I will say some things about this movie. Again, the plot is derivative. It's not original. But it's one of those plots that you can kind of always get into. I mean, Halloween night, six young friends get together to play a board game, and all this stuff starts coming to life. You can't miss with something like that. I mean, it's never a boring movie. You know, as long as the characters have something to talk about and something to do, the movie goes by quickly. It's just one of those fun films you put on in the background with your friends. And that's what this qualifies as. In my opinion, Uncanny Annie makes for a really good turn your brain off, get the popcorn, get some drinks with your friends, and just have a good time with it. And there's a place for movies like that. Not every single film has to be something you have to think about over and over again. This film won't stay with you for a long period of time, but it's a solid entry for 2019's movies. And again, it kept itself short. Not only is it paced pretty well, so it goes by kind of quickly, and you don't realize how fast the film goes by, but it's only an hour and 20 minutes. So it's not even a full hour and a half. It's a pretty short film, and it goes by just as fast. Paul Davis's direction here was nice. In something like this, whenever you're stuck in close quarters, you want to have a nice location that makes you feel claustrophobic. This was a good house. The location they chose was nice. They chose a place with long hallways. You guys know I love long hallway shots on this channel. They chose a place with some dark rooms. You got a nice basement. The living room has all the orange lighting and Halloween decorations and stuff like that. Speaking of lighting, I don't know why my channel keeps flickering with the lighting back and forth. Something's wrong with the video today. I apologize for the visual here. But the visual in this movie, though, is quite nice. You have a really good setting. Kind of a standard basic house, ritzy house. You have kind of a rich kid with an average house, but it makes for a good location for this. Also, Uncanny Annie. If you're going to name something after a little kid who's an antagonist, you're going to have a creepy one. Credit to all the acting here, but Carlisha Hurley, I never heard of her before. She plays Annie in this. She's the creepy kid. She does an excellent job. I want to see her in future things. She is the standout actor to me because she has little moments in flashbacks and jump cuts and quick cuts and things like that that she gets focused on. And her visual, the makeup, the look, the acting is really, really solid. So I want to give her a big shout out here. And I want to see what else she has to do in the future. The other stars as well, there's six people, but I think the girls really stand out in particular, which is why I listed Adelaide Kane, Georgie Flores, and Paige McGee. Adelaide Kane is the only one I ever heard of before. She's done a lot of stuff for like the CW and stuff like that. But I really enjoyed the girls in this. And also, I gotta say, for just being six kind of stereotypical partying kids, you got the nerdy guy, you got the jock. So it easily could have fallen into just very stereotyped characters that are just boring and you're waiting to see them get killed. In this case, I like some of the backstories. One of their friends, like I said before, was murdered unconventionally. and you feel bad for them because they're mourning. The friends obviously have a bond together, but they're kind of splintered because of the loss of their friend. One of the girls and guys are an ex couple, so you have the awkwardness of being exes but still kind of having feelings for each other, and that plays into some of the kind of the dares in this film. So basically, the cards, as they're playing the board game, each person picks up a card, and you have to complete your challenge, whether it's a confession or a dare. I think it starts with a confession, and then if you don't complete your confession, then you have to pick up a mischief card, which is like a dare. And if you can't do that, then you're in some trouble. But it's like a dark version of Truth or Dare with some big consequences, and we've seen a few of those movies recently as well. But this one is done in a more serious tone. It doesn't feel as juvenile, in spite of the fact that all the characters are teenagers. They're given enough with their relationships and their traumas that you care just enough about them. They're not super deep and layered, but they have this past that at least makes you invest in them. And you come to find out there are some secrets in the group, which led to the unraveling of some of the friendships and some things. And then, of course, at the end, there's the big atonement with coming face to face with Annie. And what does she want and why is she there and who's going to survive this thing? So, again, it's nothing special plot-wise. Everything is done just well enough. The plot has just enough depth. The characters have just enough to chew on. The directing is just solid enough. The location is just solid enough. Nothing stands out as being amazing, but nothing in this film is bad either. And so with that being said, I'm going to give Uncanny Annie a 6 out of 10 because it is, in my opinion, a better than average, fun background flick where you can just get the popcorn, turn the beers up, turn your mind off, and just enjoy this fun claustrophobic slasher. Again, nothing special. We've seen it before, but it's updated here in a decent way, and I think it's a nice addition to the Into the Dark series. So 6 out of 10 for me. I will get into the spoilers now, so if you have not seen it, this is the end of the non-spoiler portion. Okay, and so basically for the spoilers, the friends start dying one by one. They wind up trying to go outside and escape, and they're just in this big black hole. There's nothing. When they try and run away too far from the house, they get killed. And the porch and everything, there's no other houses, no other lights. They're just in a black hole, basically stuck inside the black box, which is in the game. So it comes down to two of the girls, and one of the girls confesses that she was hooking up with the other girl's boyfriend the night that their other friend died. The two guys got drunk together. Neither one could drive home. They got into a fight. The one friend pushed the other down, and he smacked his nose on the car, and he winds up drowning in a few inches of water because he's drunk and he's got a bashed nose and he can't function. So the boyfriend drives away with the best friend who was hooking up with him. So now you've got the boyfriend being the reason that the guy's dead, and the girlfriend, her best friend, is cheating with the boyfriend. So sorry for not having character names here, but we have a cheating relationship and a reason for cause of death inside this friendship, which causes splinters. So Uncanny Annie says, okay, if you take the life of your friend here, your last friend that's left, that cheated with your boyfriend and caused your other friend to die, if you take her life, you can survive. But if not, I'm just going to kill you both. So basically, she decides to kind of cheat it. Annie kills the friend anyway, so it's down to just Adelaide Kane's character. Adelaide Kane stabs inside the box, which you think ends the thing. She kind of wakes up as if it's almost a dream inside the house by herself. She's waiting around trying to find her friends, and Uncanny Annie says, no, you cheated the rules. You got to keep the rules because the rules are important, and Annie kills the main character. So they all die. Uncanny Annie is still alive, and I wouldn't mind seeing a fun little sequel. So 6 out of 10 for me. I enjoyed this. What do you think? If you have not seen it, it's on Hulu right now, so go check it out as part of the Into the Dark Blumhouse series. Tell me in the comments below what other films from the Into the Dark series or that are on Hulu that you would like to see me review, because I have that right now, so I can go in and watch a bunch of films from there and review them. Please like, share, and subscribe, and comment down below, and help keep advancing this channel as I bring you guys more reviews from the drive-in. Take care.